Why
can't I actually memorize our
I don't
theme
know.
song? I should. Long story short.
Two's company, two.
Yeah, that's just permanently stuck in my head. Also, I know the theme song to Skip It, which... does that product even exist?
I don't
Because I feel like you
think
can't
so.
get into copyright issues
Yeah.
if you're singing a jingle for a defunct product.
Yeah, I don't think
feel like
so
I'm going to
either.
hear about this later. Unfortunately, I am going to have to hear about it later because we have continuing technical difficulties. Which is not just us doing a horrible job of singing the theme song. Our internet is still...
Issue.
absent would be the technical term. So, to help pass time, we are going to do more drinks.
Yay!
We're going to continue with our decades week. We're going to be moving down the line. We're going to do one that kind of threw me for a loop. So my mom and my grandmother would love what was called a Brandy Alexander. And a Brandy Alexander is where you took brandy and mixed it with ice cream and called it a cocktail. It's very evident why my family liked this. So, we did some research on what an actual Alexander was. And we don't have all the ingredients to make it.
So,
There's
my
been some
grandfather,
substitutions.
we're on 1950s, by the way. My grandfather had this on his bar.
The
It was
Cocktail-O-Matic?
the Cocktail-O-Matic. It was then passed to me by my father. It sits on my bar. And there are, as you can see, just absurd cocktails. Very few of them people really drink anymore. We picked two that we've either heard of or just went, oh my God, that's pleasant. Why did that one go away? And one day, if we get real bored, we may have you
pick a number
and we'll see what we can do. But that is my Cocktail-O-Matic. So you are here in 50s week.
My favorite review, by the way, when we looked this up, because Tara wasn't sure what it was worth, is, what if we took something simple and straightforward, like a cocktail book, and made it unnecessarily complicated and difficult to operate?
So you take some effort when you get into the higher numbers, but you just find your number on your Rolodex.
And you work through a little
You work through your scroll. So we are going to start with an Alexander.
We are going to start with the Alexander. Now, as always, there's a substitution, and it's becoming, as we're doing this, one of our favorite liquors over time. So the Alexander calls for gin, egg white, half and half, and then white creme de coco, which we don't have. But we do have 43.
Yay!
So we're going to do vanilla. And so we made one earlier to be safe.
Yep.
Always to be safe. It was fantastic.
It was really good. Milk, and I, as well documented on the show, I am not a milk-based
You and
cocktail.
Gary, not a fan.
However, they were very big in the 50s because you could make large amounts of them. The punches were very popular because home cocktail parties were all the rage.
Raging home cocktail
parties.
So, the first way to start a raging home cocktail party is with a shot of gin.
Woo!
Now, we're going to go with 3/4, 43. We're going to go with 3/4 egg white, which this works so well, by the way.
Yeah, if we can't tell you enough how you should get the powdered egg white.
Powdered egg white in a squeeze bottle. And then a shot of half and half, because this is healthy. All right, it's important to know that.
Well, it was only a shot.
Right, make sure I accidentally did, just like we did last time and talked about, broke one of the pint glasses.
Anytime you're using a milk-based cocktail, I would shake well.
Well, along with the egg white, you're going to see why here soon. And you want to do, there's what's called shaking till the shaker's frosted, where you actually get condensation forming on the outside. No. There we are. Plus, when you use that egg white and that milk, it makes this super velvety, creamy.
I mean, it's like pouring a milkshake. Look at that.
Oh man, if I could garnish this with like just a little vanilla bean or some vanilla.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be so sweet. So sweet.
Surprise. Oh, he already ran out.
He already left. He didn't want to be on film.
He's so quick. Catlin Miller's here, obviously.
So that
A quick devil.
is an Alexander. A vanilla Alexander
Yes.
as opposed to a chocolate Alexander.
And it is phenomenal. And again, I don't like cream-based drinks.
You really don't.
I really don't.
You really are not a fan of them. Like, at all. At
No.
all.
But everybody I know is, so I always try it. But now the good news is I have one that I'll drink when it's, Brinker night at the Dutch.
Well, and on the note of the Brinkers, if you want to spruce up that White Russian, they don't.
They don't. They like it how it is.
But shaken with some of this egg white.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Oh, that'd be really nice. They won't.
They won't.
But they should know. It'd be really good. Now, the next one, we're going to be using trusty old martini glass. And going for round 2. Now, as always, every single time you are going to make anything in one of these glasses, cool it.
We taught you this. All right, we're going to say, as we're chilling, we're going to say, hi, Catlin Miller.
I'm saying bye, Catlin Miller.
Bye, Catlin Miller. That's about as much as we see him in a day.
Really, we just kind of leave him across the street to his own devices.
Yeah, he works in Stillhouse 2. He's very lonely right now. And no, you cannot come down and be with him.
He is very lonely. We thought about getting him some Furbies.
It's still not out of the question.
No, it's not. And then we'd videotape Catlin talking to the Furbies. So, this
I'm excited about this one too.
is the Stork Club Cooler. We're going to be doing 1 ounce gin, 1 ounce triple sec, 1 ounce unopened OJ.
So, the Stork Club was a very famous kind of movie star destination in New York, and they're credited with a lot of different cocktails, especially in the late 40s and through the 50s. But this one here was a favorite of the staff. So this is what the staff liked to drink.
1/2 ounce lime juice, and then
And we always love a good staff drink.
oh yeah, we do. Couple dashes of orange bitters. He did run away. Look
He
at
did.
him go.
Just watched his truck drive away. Very quick. So this one he will not shake nearly as much as this.
Because I don't need
Because
to put
look at
that
it.
froth on it. But pour out our chilled glass. And behold,
Well, that's fun.
a Stork Club Cooler. That recipe makes it a little heavier than I thought.
Yeah. That's okay.
I'm curious to try this one.
Yeah.
'Cause we didn't actually make this one ahead of time. It was pretty straightforward.
I mean, it's gin and juice with some...
It's basically super hearty gin and juice.
I'd like to try, sir.
It is refreshing, though. You can see why it would be a go-to staff drink.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially if you worked real late the night before. And again, as you're amped to do, go out with the staff. That's a good, actually, hangover drink. Little hair of the dog.
It's mimosa-esque enough.
Yeah.
But it's gin mimosa.
Is there anything wrong with that?
I mean, really, you put that in a different glass, no one's gonna know.
No one's going to know. So this is the 50s. And again, this was the
If
era...
you put it in a different glass, no one's gonna know it's the 50s in a nutshell.
The 50s were definitely home to punches and cream-based cocktails and egg whites. I swear 80% of the drinks on this bar guide use an egg white. And mint. Mint was quite popular, but mint makes a comeback, as you will find out.
Again, I still want to get into an old school Mr. Boston that calls for straight up whole eggs in something.
Oh, yeah, there are drinks out there that, whole egg, yolk and all.
This is your breakfast drink. This is pleasant. It's the perfect little...
It's a neat little... I'm a fan of that one. And again, 6 ounces of a milk-based cocktail, in my opinion, is plenty. I know people who will fight me over that statement, but he's not here right now, so...
No.
It's okay.
Somewhere far away. You know, the two of them combined going side by side is just basically a dreamsicle.
I was just going to ask. That's a good drink we have created that maybe...
Tara, unfortunately, is not able to drink right now.
No.
Which means things have taken a turn.
Yeah, these are for Keith. I'm not living my best life today.
Which is why I'm here to help.
Yes, God bless him. So, other big cocktails in the 50s, just reading off this, there's actually several Alexanders, again, as Keith said. His mom really liked the brandy. Eggnog was huge, because, again, you can make that in bulk. But there's, like, the Blood and Sand is one people might know. The Bronx is actually a cocktail I really like that we may end up doing at another time. It is a gin vermouth, sweet vermouth, OJ. It seems to be a cousin of a Martinez. It's in that same family. But there's things on here like the Gunga Din.
Gunga
right?
Din.
Mamie Taylor.
I like how the way this works is you're just listing weird things on your cup.
The Silver Stallion. What is that?
So obviously, I want you guys to rewind, freeze frame the, also by the way, we're not entirely sure if we actually have all the ingredients to make everything on that list.
This one legit uses vanilla ice cream. Gin, vanilla ice cream, lemon, lime, shake with fine ice, fill with club soda. So it's the Silver Stallion. It's basically a boozy float.
I love me a good boozy float.
Yeah.
We'll get into my Berlusconi at some point.
Yes. So the 50s, again, I won't say they used a lot of ingredients, but they definitely used different ingredients.
Well, the 50s was also, I mean, we talked about tiki's. There was the birth of that home wet bar.
Yeah,
and,
big time.
You know, people are going to come over and we're going to have these little parties and... let's face it, you know, it was a time period where just drinking and smoking everywhere is what you were supposed to do.
Pregnant, not pregnant, home, work, doesn't matter.
But, yeah, this is what lived on your little bar in your corner.
Yep, your little wet bar.
Again, you had all your little bottles around it. You'd come along, little sweater vest, and sit
little
down.
bossa nova.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
La la la.
And you're like, oh, I'll just roll up a cocktail.
I'll just rush it. Let me just dial it in.
But I will say the cocktail glass, the martini in its family, whether or not gin was still very big in the 50s. I will say whiskey started to come into its own more because men drank whiskey and gin.
But in the 50s, whiskey was Scotch. You know, you
yes.
got your like Mad Men, 50s, 60s, all that.
Whiskey.
Scotch, because Scotch was good whiskey.
Yeah.
You had to have it imported.
Yes.
You know, we only now really are in like maybe early 2000s. Bourbon really becoming like
the peak.
Damn
bourbon is now peaking or in its
it's now respectable.
Yeah, it took a while.
It took a minute. But it's that way now. So you can sit down with a good bourbon just like someone would sit with a good Scotch. But yeah, for those who weren't doing that, cocktails. I still, as odd as it sounds, the martini glass is literally made for presentation. It is not.
It is
effective.
Everything
drinkable glassware.
Everything looks good in it, though. It's the little black dress of cocktails.
It's highly tight and inconvenient, but it always attracts attention.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen. Definition right there. Look it up.
Well.
Let's do some shout outs.
Do we have some shout outs? Who should we shout out today?
I'm
thinking I might do falafels and gyros again for dinner because that was just too spectacular.
Okay.
So DTM gyros, I'll do another shout out too.
DTM gyros, always good for Franklin Countyites.
That sounded safe.
Yeah, that's legit.
Ooh, who do we... I mean, we're really getting through them. The Rockwell Beer Company. I had some of them the other day. They're doing like growlers. So again, as we're getting warmer, sitting down, getting a nice growler, enjoying that. I mean, I know we're showing off cocktails, but we don't make beer. It's good to change things up every now and then. Baked goods?
While he's looking, those in New Haven should check out Avant Garden CSA. They have a new... They're starting up in 2 weeks. They also have a new online store where you can buy like onesie twosies of things. And you pick it up on Thursdays down here in downtown New Haven. And it is run by the amazing Carissa and Joe. And we just, there's not nicer people on earth, I swear.
There really are not.
So, but check out their website, take two, Avant Gardens. They're a CSA, and that's a good way to get fresh veggies, produce, local meat.
Those cranberry orange muffins we got from there the other day.
We got
the
some
romaine
local
lettuce.
Cheese. Oh, that romaine lettuce.
Well, the cheese was great, but I know it sounds ridiculous, but it was this nice, natural romaine, really flavorful. Or I've done terrible things to my body by sitting here and drinking with you guys every day that I'm like,
yes,
lettuce. I'm doing this for you.
Yes.
For you.
So we appreciate it. Yeah. This one you're doing for me.
I'm drinking for two right now.
Yes.
No, I was also going to throw out, because again, tacos are never a bad idea, but the Calibi's Taco Shack.
Oh, yeah. I hear some of the food trucks are gearing back up.
I would love for more of the food trucks to gear back up.
So I was just looking around today, so just be aware of that. But this is the 50s. It's actually not, it's simple, but I will say it looks rather glamorous, but neither of those were that complicated.
No, they're not too crazy. And that was nice. The 50s was when you could get more inventive with a cocktail, but you stepped out of using just 2 or 3 ingredients.
Agreed. It was not highball until the later 50s, early 60s, when the parents were older and their kids were young and they just wanted to drink.
And that's fair.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
As a child myself, I know why my parents drink.
Well, we thank you guys for bearing with us. We do anticipate
We're gonna get through all this.
The internet working
So
it's tomorrow.
Oh, you're hoping. So stay healthy.
That's me.
And stay safe.
That's allegedly Keith. and keep your spirits up. Oh, thanks,
I'm not doing
Keith.
that.
No, don't. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.